If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. I forgot how much backlash you get when you paid only $300 for rent for 8 acres and a house. Yeah, people don't believe it. I mean, they just absolutely don't believe it. Now, people don't believe that you can find a place to live, you know, for less than $1,000 in the United States. But you can. Look, this is not the first time I've paid less than, $500 for rent. I'm not saying you're going to get 8 acres. Yes, I agree that was an absolute bargain. You know, you can find places, 450, 400, half acre. Heck, in 2001, now I know this was a few years back, I bought a house, a nice house, fully ready to move in house. For $26,000, my house payment was $300 a month, just under $300 a month. I think people have this expectation, well, if I'm going to rent a place, I'm not going to do anything. You know, the landlord's going to have to take care of everything. If something breaks, they got to fix it. They got to cut the grass. When you find a place for $300 a month, it's not like they got a hired crew of handymen and maintenance men that can come out and fix every little problem you got. They don't. So there's this kind of handshake agreement that, hey, you come into this place for $300 a month, you're going to cut the grass. You know, when the faucet broke in the rental house, I didn't even bother the landlord. I just went and got it. Well, the last time I said that, somebody said, aha, you're being deceitful. You got all those expenses that you're not counting into your rent. Okay, you're right. You know, $300, let's say it took 5 gallons of gas. So my rent was, my rent was $315. But you're still not even coming close to this $1,000 or $4,000, $2,000 rent price that people are telling me. But you got to be willing to do the work. There's work involved to coming off that cheap. Now, there's not near as much work keeping up with a house that has a $300 rent payment as it is with you going to work and working your rear off to pay for that $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 rent payment. So then the option is, well, I can't afford to live in these high-priced apartments with all the luxuries and conveniences. You know, they cut the grass for you, and they come out and they fix the plumbing, and they, if the toilet breaks, they fix it. If the window breaks, they fix it. The only way I can get away from this ridiculous rent price is to go live in a car. Think about this. So the option is, in order to get away from a $1,000 rent price, is go from that to a car. Where I'm suggesting you could go from $1,000 to $300 if you're willing to move into an area and willing to do some work around the house. You can find them, I promise. Let's assume for a minute that you can't. And so your option is you got to move into a car. Well, just the other day I made a video where I talked about that rent prices are going to be just as high living in your car or RV as it is living in an apartment, $1,000. And I'll put a link to that video right here. Then when you move into your car, you still have more work to do than you did in the rental property. You have to produce your own electric, maintain the generator. When your plumbing breaks, you have to fix it. When your window breaks, you have to fix it. This is constant work, constant maintenance. So not only are you paying this high price living in a car, thinking that you're saving money, you got more work to do than you did when you were living in an apartment. So this morning, it was chilly. It was 42 degrees outside. Now, in a house, you sit down on your couch, in your pajamas, you kick back on a nice cold morning, and enjoy the heater. No big deal. You don't have to do anything. Well, with me, I have to think, wow, am I going to run the generator longer so I can stay warmer? Because I got this little space heater that I can run on the generator. But it's going to run up my fuel costs. It's going to require me to do maintenance on my generator sooner. Right now I do maintenance on my generator every 2 weeks. But when I run it faster and harder, I have to shorten the time between oil changes and spark plug cleanings and air filter cleanings. So then I have to do the maintenance on it about once a week instead of every 2 weeks. Plus, you're going to increase your workload, is what I'm trying to say, simply by running a heater. So you got this thought process. Do I really want to do all that work just so I can have a little comfort this morning? Of course, you can run propane, but when it's raining, the condensation with propane really accumulates. I'm not going to get into the propane produces water. I'm not going to get into that conversation right now. But you do end up with more water condensation. So now what are you going to do? You got to try to figure out how to reduce all that sweat and water, and you don't want to get mold. So, and the other thing is when it's 42 degrees out and you turn the propane heater on, you're going to heat yourself out of the camper. I mean, it's just instantly you're going to cook yourself. Doing dishes in your rental house. You go over the sink, put the dishes probably in the dishwasher. That would be my guess. If you're paying $1,000 a month, I would think that you would want a dishwasher. So you put the dishes in the dishwasher and you put some soap in it and you push a button. Dishes come out clean. I know people are going to tell me, oh no, you got to do a pre-wash. You get my point. But out here, you go get your bucket of water, and then you fill up a little pot of water. You heat the water over the propane stove, and then you stand at the tailgate. You do the dishes one at a time in this little pot of water you got. And then when you're done washing, you dip water out of that bucket and you rinse each individual dish. And it even becomes more difficult if you're in a campsite that doesn't have water. So now you're rinsing your water over another pot to save the water that you just used to rinse, so you can use that tomorrow to wash the dishes. Your chores become a lot more complicated living out here than it did in your $1,000 a month rent. Again, I'm telling you that the rent cost on that video that I put up here, it's the same cost. So you're spending the same amount, thinking you're saving money, and doing more work to do it. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.